Chapter 3. Today, someone from our class made it into the top 10 of the entire school. If this were a movie set, the camera director would immediately capture the homeroom teacher's face in a reverse angle shot. Suspicion-filled eyes and stern glares were mercilessly projected onto the subject. The report card seemed to amplify the doubt like a subplot. Jang Young-guk, congratulations. The students' reactions spread like wildfire, and their faces were soon filled with disbelief. After all, considering Jang Young-guk's midterm grades, it seemed impossible. Was not he the one who used to compete for the last place in the class? It only made sense for their suspicion to spread since he had only achieved the feat in just a few months. Are not you going to take your report card? When the homeroom teacher gestured with the report card, Young-guk got up and walked to the podium. However, strangely enough, the expression on Jang Young-guk's face as he received his report card was not pleasant. He looked uncomfortable, like someone who had not properly taken care of business in the bathroom. Thank you. Homeroom teacher Kai Mbongdu licked his lips in a slightly awkward response to Young-guk's reaction. The first thing that came to his mind when he received Jang Young-guk's report card in the teacher's office was cheating. It was only natural, as Young-guk, who used to be the last in the class, suddenly took 10th place in the whole school. The subject teachers gave him very good evaluations. When considering the teacher's words in charge of subjects, including Korean, English, and math, Young-guk's learning attitude was perfect. Not only did he never fool around during class, but he also never stopped taking notes when the teachers casually mentioned things. All the teachers agreed that it seemed like he had transformed overnight. It does happen sometimes, but as a teacher, one occasionally witnessed dramatic changes in students. However, could a student who spent lunchtime playing soccer and never even glanced at his studies suddenly become one of the top 10 in the school after just a few months of hard work? Some parent-knots already raised suspicions at the parent-not-teacher conference, questioning if the exam papers had been leaked. 10th place in the whole school? On the other hand, Young-guk received his report card with a feeling of emptiness, unlike what his homeroom teacher and friends thought. He had been studying relentlessly, even losing sleep since he returned to the past a few months ago. Perhaps it was because of his regression, but his memory and comprehension abilities were significantly better than in his previous life. He could easily memorize 1,000 English words a day as evidence. His expectations were so high that he even looked forward to the day the report cards were distributed. After the final exam, he wondered if he might have gotten a perfect score. Jang Young-guk, come with me to the office for a moment. Although the class had not started, Kai Mbongdu was determined to resolve this mystery. Out of consideration, he led Young-guk to the office instead of the busy teacher's room. When they arrived, he immediately locked the door and leaned back in his chair. Jang Young-guk, did you cheat? No, I did not. Kai Mbongdu coughed awkwardly at the immediate response. However, after 20 years as a teacher, he could not back down now. Come on, how could you not have? I know your midterm grades. Young-guk, it is illogical for a student who has been at the bottom of the class to suddenly rank 10th in the entire school. Even a passing dog would say that is impossible. That is nonsense. What? How could a dog talk? Kai Mbongdu was briefly taken aback, but then he looked at Young-guk with fresh eyes. Even if they did nothing wrong, most students became nervous when called to the office. Yet, Young-guk's eyes revealed no anxiety or impatience. In fact, his expression was relatively calm and collected. As you know, you can check the seating chart when I took the final exam. Were not all the students around me struggling with their grades? I could not even think about cheating. They were all dozing off and getting on my nerves. One guy was even snoring loudly. Kai Mbongdu could not deny the truth. The seating arrangement was changed for the exam, with the high-achieving students grouped together. This was to prevent the less studious students from disrupting the focus of others. Next, you might have thought about the possibility of a leaked exam paper, but has there been any theft? If you are still suspicious, I am willing to retake the test alone. However, you must take full responsibility for the results. What? Kai Mbongdu wondered if the Jang Young-guk in front of Hi M was the same student he knew. He was at a loss for words as the young man confidently proclaimed his innocence. All right, you can go now. Yes, sir. As Young-guk bowed and turned to leave, Kai Mbongdu thought, how did the kid figure out that the scariest thing for public servants like me is to take responsibility? The labyrinth-like structure of Namhang Market offered a mysterious charm to tourists. The strong accents of Busan's native women and the fragrant aromas of dishes filled with ocean scents were enough to satisfy all 5 senses. Moreover, the market was home to an incredible variety of unique traditional teas. If a famous foreign barista were to witness this spectacle, they would undoubtedly claim that the true coffee trung can be found in Korea, not Vietnam. PDU, do you know why there are so many tea houses in Namhang Market? Do Busan people love coffee? Well, that might be possible, but there is a more plausible explanation. During the Korean War, people who took refuge in Busan used to meet at Namhang Market after crossing Yeongdo Bridge. Back then, it was the meeting place for all of South Korea. The well-known PDU worked at KBC Broadcasting's drama department for 7 years. Although not yet considered a seasoned professional, his skill was acknowledged, and even some veteran PDs admired his planning and direction. As evidence of his talent, fierce competition often occurred among middle-level PDs to work with PDU during their ad days. Writer Choi, it has been more than 50 years since the Korean War ended. Why are there still so many tea houses here? It is not like Busan people still meet at Namhang Market. Most of the tourists here have visited Taejingdi and come to eat. They do not even glance at the coffee, do they? As always, PDU, you are sharp. The tea houses in Namhang Market are not just for selling coffee. They are more like the supportive mothers of the people of Yeongdo. Mothers? Tea houses are the first places to open in Namhang Market. Fishermen and day laborers visit them before setting sail. They have their breakfast there, and the traditional tea keeps them warm as a dessert. So, it is no exaggeration to say that the tea houses in Namhang Market provide breakfast for all the fishing boats docking in Yeongdo. How do you know all this, Writer Choi? I am from Yeongdo, and my father was a fisherman. Choi Yoon-suk was a drama writer with 5 years of experience. However, she had not yet had a successful debut work. Until now, she worked as an assistant writer under a famous writer. In this sense, PDU and Choi Yoon-suk had much in common. Both of them were hoping that this project would serve as the turning point in their careers. But Writer Choi, is it all right for us to come down here together when the first day of shooting has been decided? Typically, drama writers have a time-sensitive job. Unless it is a pre-produced show, the script can be lengthened or shortened depending on the audience's reaction and the broadcaster's influence. Not to mention, they must also adjust the importance of each character in the script. It is no wonder partial scripts were considered a tradition in the drama department. It is my debut work. It is like giving birth for the first time. I cannot be lazy as the mother. Plus, there are unkind glances questioning whether my debut is too early. If this project fails, it will cut my career in half. I feel more pressured now that you have said that. But do not worry. I would not take this lightly as it is my turning point too. I'll go all in for this project. You seem to have a lot of concerns for someone who claims to go all in. You were lost in deep thought while checking the casting status on the train down here. Were not you? As they strolled through Namhang Market, PDU gave a brief nod. Actually, I am satisfied with all the main actors. So, you are not satisfied with the supporting actors? No, it is the child actor that I am not happy with. The one who is playing the younger version of the protagonist, Kyam Hajin. I think his name is Kyam Minty. Writer Choi, you should know I am too. He's the kid who played a role in the drama The Age of Immortality, written by the famous writer Wang. Is not that child quite a good actor? I remember the writer Wang praised his performance several times after watching the broadcast. PDU licked his dry lips. Among his peers, he is one of the better child actors. But his accent does not sit well with me. It feels like he is wearing clothes that do not fit. He is supposed to portray the rough childhood of a man born and raised in Busan. But it is difficult for a kid from Seoul to express that. I understand the limitations. PDU recalled the audition of child actor Kai Minty. Just in case, they prepared a dead fish for him to interact with. However, not only was he startled when touching the fish, but his awkward accent made his performance even worse. The problem was that there were no alternatives. The child actors who auditioned in Seoul were all unsuitable for the role. It became a matter of choosing the lesser evil rather than the best option. It was then. "Hey, you over there. You've got a pretty face, why not come and check out our fish? The mackerel are so plump today that the fishermen thought they caught sharks. I'll give you a generous discount." Seemingly not yet past puberty, a youthful voice rang out powerfully between the long rows of fish stands at Namhang Market. The enunciation and vocalization were so precise that the thick accents of Busan Ajamas felt like background music akin to gentle waves. Captivated, PDU and Choi Yoon-suk quickly headed in the direction of the voice. "Sir, take a look at our flounders. They are tastier than what you would eat at a sushi restaurant. If you buy this today, your girlfriend will be over the moon. I'll also pack a few good-sized mackerels for you. Do not just glance over them, take a closer look. You need to examine it closely to know if it is a good catch. Oh my, I am turning 40 the day after tomorrow. But how can I resist gibber from someone as adorable as my son? Gibber, you think I am your girlfriend? Gibber, you sure know how to do business. How could someone be so gibber charming while talking to a middle-aged man with a protruding belly?" The boy gibber very young, perhaps a middle school student. But there was power in his voice. Enthralled by his gibber and vocalization, passing tourists moved closer, and even the surrounding Ajamas looked on with satisfaction. The woman next to the boy, presumably his mother, seemed overwhelmed by the papaya of gibber as she busily prepared the fish. At that moment, PD Jabber and Choi Yoon-suk locked eyes in midair. "We found him.